Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a video on how to make a CRUD application using Spring Boot and Angular. So I'm going to use this guide for making the CRUD application. So in our CRUD application we're going to have these fields. There will be a login and register screen and a CRUD screen. So first step is going to be setting up our backend using Spring Boot. So for that I'm going to search Spring Initializer in Chrome. Initializer. First link. Okay, everything is pre-selected. We don't need to make much changes. I'll just rename the project as CRUD and add the dependencies. So I'm going to add Spring Web, Spring Data JPA, H2 database, and Lombok. So these 4 dependencies I'm going to need for my project. And I'm simply going to click on Generate button. So once this project is generated, I can extract it. So this is our project which is created using Spring Initializer, and this guide I'm going to leave the link of this guide also in description so you can refer when building your own project. So first step is extracting the zip file and then open it in VS Code. Okay, for now we have this source folder, main folder, and inside main folder we have our application.properties, and all the API code will reside inside this main folder, Java, COM, example, and CRUD folder. So inside CRUD I'm going to make 3 folders. First one is model, next one repository, and third one will be controller. Now I'm going to add the code files in these 3 folders. But before that we'll check our document. So we are done with step 1. Now I'm going to copy this application.properties and paste it in our application.properties file. This one. This is going to help us connect H2 database with our backend. So once H2 database is connected, then we can add our model, which is employee.java. So I'm going to create a file inside this model folder, employee.java. See, here these are the fields we need in our project: ID, employee ID, password, profile, date of join, description. We are using Lombok extension. This helps us create the model easily. We don't need to create getters and setters. Simply we use this package and we define our fields in this class. The next step is creating our employee repository.java. Okay, let's create the file in our repository folder. Employee. This one. Next one is controller. So we will be having 2 controllers, auth controller and employee controller. So auth controller is having 2 APIs, register API and login API. Let's quickly create the controller in our controller folder. Auth controller.java. So this is our auth controller. We have 2 APIs, post API for register and login. Next one is employee controller. So employee controller is having our CRUD APIs. Employee controller.java. So this one is having our CRUD API, get employees, create employee, update employee, delete employee. So all the APIs are in this employee controller. So that is all for the backend. We've successfully created our backend. Now we are going to run backend using this command. This one we have to move inside our CRUD folder and then run this command. Okay, so backend is now running. Okay, so backend is successfully running. So we can test our database if it is connected with the project or not. I'm going to open this link in our browser. This one. Okay, so database name is testdb. Let's verify in our application properties. Yes, it is testdb. If we define any password, that also we can do here. But for now, I'll keep it without any password. I'm going to connect with the database. Yes, simply our employee table is created and we are able to see all the fields here. So our backend is properly working. Now we can start working on our front end. So this was our part 1. Backend is complete for our CRUD app. Now we are going to create front end. For that, simply we need to run these commands. We are creating a front end and then we are moving inside the front end folder. I'll add a new terminal. CSS, no. So here we have this one, our backend, and this one, our front end. So this folder is created because of this command. Now we are installing Node modules. This will take some time. We will wait. Okay, so all the packages are installed successfully. Now we can move inside our front end folder. Okay. Next step is adding the styles, the global styles which are going to work for our project. I will simply add the styles in our styles.css file. So we are keeping the CSS as minimal as possible because our main focus is on the working of our CRUD app. So that is all for CSS. Now I'm going to add appconfigs.ts. That is inside our app folder, appconfig.ts. I'll just simply replace this entire file with this. Next is app.routes.ts. Simply replacing the entire file with this. Currently we are getting error for these four because we have not yet created the 4 components. We will be running the commands for creating components in a while. And this one is our app component.ts file. That is all. Now we can create our 4 components using this command. We can run these separately. I'm just going to run all the 4 commands together so we can create our all 4 components in front end folder. No, enter. As you can see, our components are getting generated here: register, login, list, and form component. These 4 components. Next step is simply adding the code for the 4 components. Register.component.ts. So this is our register page. Then register HTML file. Then next login TS file, login TypeScript file. Then HTML file. Then our list TypeScript file. Okay, forms module is not imported. We can simply use this quick fix for importing forms module. Then we have list component HTML file. And the last one is the forms component where we are creating the add or edit form. Form TS file. And then form HTML file. That is all for our front end. We are done with creating all the 4 components. Now we can run our backend and front end. So I'm simply going to use this ngserve command and then we will see if our project is working properly. So inside front end folder, I'm running this ngserve command. Okay, router link is not used in list component. List component TypeScript file. Router link is not being used, then we can remove it simply. I'll start the front end again and then we will see if we have any errors. Okay, so our front end is now working perfectly fine. So we can now test our front end on this link. and search for the link. So here we are able to see the login form. This is our register form. And for now, we don't have anything in our table, employee table. So we are going to create an employee. Employee ID 123, password 123123. And you can see that validations, minimal validations are also there. So this is our employee profile, date of joining, test description. Let's register the employee. Okay, so employee got registered successfully. Now we can try to log in using the ID and employee ID and password. Okay, so we are able to log in. So this is our CRUD page. Here we are fetching all the employee details in this table format. We can use this add button to again open the add employee form. I'm going to register another employee. Then password, date of joining, and description. Save. Okay, so now we have 2 employees in our database. Let's check in our H2 console if we are able to add the 2 employees. Yes, there we have 2 employees registered in our employees table. So we can also edit employee. Let's try to edit the second employee. Let's change the profile of this employee. New, test description, new. Let's try to change the date as well. I'm going to keep the date 11/7/2026, and then I'll click on the save button. See, the date is changed 11/7/2026. New profile and new description is also there. So we are able to edit, add. Let's try to delete. But before that, let's check our database. Yes, the new data is being reflected here as well. So let's delete this new employee. Okay, so it got deleted. So our CRUD app is working. The improvements that we can make in our CRUD app is having a confirmation dialog when the user clicks on delete button. And also in edit form, we can keep the password and employee ID uneditable. And what else we can do? We can add some more CSS for sure. So that was all for today's video. Thank you.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना।